Miss Mayor, we're live.
Thank you, David. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular council meeting. Today is Wednesday, December 17th, and it's 7:04. It is very wonderful to see so many people here on a very special night tonight, and I want to welcome everybody. I see Senator Susan Rubio in the audience. Thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure seeing you in your city. Also, I see the president of our school board member, Ms. Norma Olmos. Thank you for being here, representing all of our students in the city of Baldwin Park. And now I can ask for an invocation. Mayor Pro Tem Damian, will you lead us in that, please?
Thank you, Mayor. For those of you that ever rise, please go ahead and rise. Just want to give God thanks for letting us, giving us the opportunity to gather here tonight and allow our city council to be guided by the Holy Spirit. Want to wish all of you guys a Merry Christmas and a blessed holiday season. And just know that we are here to make the best decisions possible for our community, and always praying for our police department and all of our city staff, as well as our community residents. In the name of Jesus, we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I also want to welcome the mayor of El Monte, Ms. Jessica Arjona. Thank you for coming.
Mayor Avila,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Here.
Councilmember Ayala, Councilmember Estrada,
Here.
Councilmember Lozano.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. And now we will go into public communications. City clerk, do we have?
The closed session report first.
Yes, I'm so sorry. City attorney, do we have anything to report from closed session?
Well, there's nothing to report from closed session, but we do have one urgency item we need to add to the
Yes.
agenda. This was something that arose after the agenda was posted and is of an urgent nature. And so therefore we're asking you to add it to the calendar. It concerns a contract with Tyler Technologies to update the city's permitting system. The urgency relates to the fact that it will cost the city if we can't get this implemented in a timely manner. The contract is for $66,825. And it would go on the agenda as item 11A. I spoke with the clerk and that was where they said to put it. So if you're in agreement with that, I'd need a motion and a second and a 4/5 vote to add it to the agenda.
Do I hear a motion to add that?
I'll go ahead and make the motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
We have a motion by Councilmember Lozano, second by Councilmember Ayala. Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And are we done with that?
Nothing further to report.
Thank you. Okay, we can go. The special meeting was closed during the special meeting. Yes, thank you. And now we will go into public communication.
We have a speaker card. We have a few of them, so we'll begin with in the order received. Irma Morales with the Los Angeles County Library.
I think it's off.
Good evening, Mayor Avila, City Council members, city staff, and community members. I wanted to tell you about some ongoing or upcoming things going on at Baldwin Park Library. Currently, we have just started our Winter Reading Club. It's from December 15th through January 12th, and it's an online reading club. It's online only. And participants in the Winter Reading Club will be challenged to read 400 minutes during this month-long program. Badges will be earned for every 100 minutes. Additionally, we are encouraging customers to continue to log their reading and accomplish a shared community goal of 1 million minutes read during the program. So the Winter Reading Program started December 15th. It goes on through January 12th. It's online, and you can find the information at the library's website on lacountylibrary.org. Just a couple more things. We have ongoing programs for children. We're having our art time of Dave Pilkey this Saturday, December 20th from 1 to 2. Children are going to learn about different artists, and they're going to learn about the author and artist Dave Pilkey. We're also having a Play and Explore program next Tuesday, December 23rd from 5:30 to 6:30. This is for ages 2 to 5 with their parent or caregiver. We continue our Smarty Pants story time. This program is on Thursdays from 10:30 to 11 for ages 0 to 5, and it's as I mentioned, at 10:30 to 11. And then our baby story time is Fridays, and it continues to January 2nd from 10:30 to 11. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next, we call Brad Kim. Brad Kim.
Hello, good evening, council. Thank you for having me. My name is Brad Kim, and I am the Contracts, Grants, and Analytics Manager for the Department of Animal Care and Control. And I'm joined by my colleagues, Frank Corvino, our Deputy Director, and also Annette Trejo and Ryan Serrano from the Ward Office. And I just wanted to come to speak today regarding agenda item number 10 and your intended partnership with Inland Valley Humane Society. And I just wanted to provide some information on some of the programs the county provides and some clarification on items that I know came up during previous council meetings. I know, and we're sympathetic to the cost that primarily drives a lot of decisions. And we know the costs have risen for the city of Baldwin Park, primarily due to animal emissions. But I did want to also reiterate that that's primarily due to the step-up plan that we had implemented 4 years ago, where the county is subsidizing 10% less of costs. The city of Baldwin Park is currently in step 5 out of 6 of that plan. So after next year, you'll see those costs only raise nominally, pretty much based on a CPI, so reduced growth. But that's the main driver of why you're seeing your cost increases go up so significantly. But we also acknowledge that one of the primary drivers of reducing emissions is spay neuter, which I know is another item that came up. And I wanted to just provide information on some of the spay neuter services we do currently offer at the Baldwin Park Care Center. We partner with the ASPCA, who host a clinic every Wednesday at no cost for individuals who qualify to have their pets spay neutered. We also partner with Spay for LA, who provides low-cost spay neuter via a mobile clinic. And recognizing that Baldwin Park is a host city for an animal care center, which comes with its own challenges and potentially rise emissions as folks drop off pets around the area and addresses are linked to Baldwin Park. We would be happy to try to dedicate a spay neuter clinic, a routine spay neuter clinic, maybe through Spay for LA, in which residents specifically from Baldwin Park could access those services along with what they're doing routinely. And I know another concern that came up was canvassing or in-person license enforcement, which we know is one of the biggest offsets to costs when you have revenue coming in from licenses. We actually just started renewing our in-person licensing program this year and are trying to engage cities to see who would like to participate for this coming calendar year 2026. So we would be happy to work with the city if you were interested to schedule canvassing. Because when we had canvassed the city, I believe back in 2018-19, last time it did result in a lot more revenue for the city, which is typical for licensing. So we would be happy to engage in those discussions further. And I know our current contract together allows for 6 months notification of termination. But if the council did want to continue to engage in discussions, I know the intention is to shift potentially to IVHS starting July 1st. But if you did want to continue, we would be willing to shorten that notification.
Thank you so much for your time. The 3 minutes.
4 months or lower if you were interested, but thank you for your time.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Before we continue with our public communications, I do have to make one announcement. The city council are also members of the board of directors of the Housing Authority and Finance Authority, which are concurrently convening with the city council this evening. And each council member is paid an additional stipend of $30 for attending the Housing Authority and $50 for attending the Finance Authority meeting. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Next, we call Angelica Hernandez.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Angelica Hernandez, and I'm here because Baldwin Park is my hometown. I have a vested interest in seeing the city thrive and grow. I attended K through 12 schools in this district. As a result, I was able to go to college, grad school, law school, and complete post-grad. So I definitely have a vested interest in my community. Since then, I've worked in the state Senate, worked for the Attorney General's office, and currently for the city of Los Angeles. Although my background is in government policy and law, my actual passion project is working and doing pro bono work with animal welfare. As a child growing up in the city, low income, working class family, my family really benefited from being able to go directly to the Baldwin Park Animal Shelter numerous times. We lost a pet. We were able to find our pet immediately. We needed help spay and neutering. We were able to go directly to the Baldwin Park facility here. However, I do understand, working in government and politics and law, that we are facing very significant fiscal challenges across the board. So I definitely do want to acknowledge that as well within my comments. As a lifelong resident and somebody who loves animals, and makes quite a few number of trips each year to the shelter, I definitely see what goes on there. I see people waiting in line to surrender their pets. I see people there looking for assistance, financial, to take their pets to get treated, or, numerous things. But I feel like by changing our services directly from the county over to the Inland Valley Humane Society, we are going to see problems. One of the things that people may not realize is, although Pomona is not that far away in retrospect, it will be a challenge to people in our community. Number one, seniors. Number two, people with limited transportation options. People who don't have the privilege to spare an hour to go to and from that facility and back to look for a pet or to drop off a pet that they found here within city boundaries. Number two, we are going to see a higher spike in pets abandoned if people show up to the shelter and you can't drop an animal off there that was found within city boundaries. In 2019, our neighbors in West Covina did change over. By 2021, they switched back to the current services with the county. In closing, this is my cat, Frankie. He was adopted from the Baldwin Park Animal Shelter. I found him, took him there. He was malnourished. However, they provided me with the services that I needed to help this little cat thrive. They transferred him over to the ASPCA, who fostered him, neutered him, gave him medical treatment. I was able to adopt him immediately when he turned 3 months as a result of the partnership between the county and ASPCA. So I definitely consider Frankie a success story between a partnership between the city and the county. Thank you.
Next, we call Yanetta Whitley.
Good evening. My name is Juanita Whitley, with the council. I'm here tonight speaking on the Florence Flannel project. And tonight I'm here to ask Baldwin Park to help us save Florence Flannel by not allowing these zones change, a sale of it, because our Bassett district is trying to sell this property, 2.5 acres, to put condos or villas there. We need a park there. And we were at the meeting last night. They still haven't come to an agreement, but they said it's going to soon be done, where And we're asking you all if you can help us to save this zoning area for public and not for residential. And we don't need that. We need a park for our children, the community. The parking is so bad over there. It's congested. And if they get this in here, taxes going up, it's gonna be a solid mess over there. And we could put a park there. We have more greenery. We can do more. The kids will have a place to play. They'll have a place to do soccer. We can get a senior citizen center there, and we can have a garden over there, and I'll have somewhere to go. So if you can help us save this zoning and get a park in there, I'm asking you, would you please help us? Thank you.
Next, we call Yolanda Quiros.
Good evening, Mayor, Ballin Park City Council members. My name is Yolanda. We are here tonight to ask you to work with us, the neighbors in Bassett community, and to help stop the build project that Storm Property is proposing at Florence Flanner Elementary School. As we approach the new year, we want to remind you that we are still here asking not to move forward with this proposal. It brings no real value to our community. We have also been attending Bassett board member meetings, asking those members to withdraw their support, yet they continue to pass this matter on to you, the Ballin Park City Council. On a side note, we do have two council Bassett members that want to come and support us as well. Please keep in mind that we are open to new opportunities at the Florence Flanner site, ideas that offer better solutions for our children, our seniors, and our entire community. Thank you for your time, and we wish you all a blessed Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we call Sam Brown.
Before I begin, I just want to say that I'm here in my individual capacity. I am Samuel Brown. I'm a resident of Bassett, and I'm also an environmental justice advocate. It's an honor to be here before Baldwin Park. I know that you guys are going to be working on your reorganization. Alejandra Avila, you've done a great job leading the city through this past year. I saw you at the Lario staging area where there was the issue of the hazardous waste after the fires. I saw you take tremendous leadership role there. And I just want to, congratulate Daniel Damian on the reorganization. I think you're going to do a great job. I've been really impressed with Baldwin Park, with the greenways. I saw an article in the LA Streets blog talking about, the 2.8 miles on the phase 3 greenway that you guys have been advancing, with Barnes Park and the Walnut Creek going all the way to the Big Dalton Wash. These tributaries are so important because they're the arteries of the San Gabriel Valley. When the snow melts in the San Gabriel Mountains, that snow enters into the San Gabriel River, and then it percolates into our groundwater. And despite environmental justice issues that our region has been dealing with the contaminated groundwater, we still get 80% of our groundwater from the San Gabriel Mountains. And so preserving these tributaries is the most important thing that we can do towards the sustainability of our region, right? And I just think that the work that you guys are doing to boost greenways is significant because the county just approved the SGV greenways. There's been this master plan with the Emerald Necklace floating around for some time. But Florence Flanner does sit within Baldwin Park, and it is part of one of these potential greenways. And you have Shire Park, which is not far away. There's a tremendous opportunity there. I've talked to architects from MLA Studios that have had, proposals in the past to connect the Florence Flanner 5-acre parcel all the way to Shire Park using the river channel. And I just think this is consistent with the work that you are doing. We have Bassett School Board members that, endorse the community's proposals to, create a greenway there and park and, to provide recreational benefits, multiple benefits, stormwater sequestration. We're going to need that. I was in City of Industry earlier today, and they're proposing to change the zoning. They actually approved the Planning Commission to build data centers. That's not what we need for this region. We need recreational opportunities so that our underserved and historically disenfranchised community could have the benefits that everyone else has. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, that concludes all speaker cards received.
Thank you. Do we have anyone in the audience that would like to come up and speak during public comments?
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's. One of the things I noticed right now on this agenda that you guys have, number 11, when we proposed the BP money, there was nothing. That money was supposed to go for the community, not to be loaned out to anybody or anything other than the community. You guys are asking for $6 million, which is not a cap that we put on the measure during the vote. If you guys would have put that on the vote, let's put it on the vote for the citizens to approve what you guys are trying to do. Just don't do it because you need the money. Have the citizens in our next election or have a special election for you guys to get that money. Then it says right here that 0% payback. I don't think that's right. There was one of the reasons I bow out from the committee that we started with the BP money. I removed myself because I knew something like this was going to happen. But one of the other things, I'm going to talk for the people from Bassett. If any of you gone through that area, just on that street, if you want to go through that street, Mr. Lozano was there, and he knows what's happening. If you want to go through that street, you have to go to somebody's driveway so the other car coming from the opposite side so they can go by. It's not visible to have 105 or whatever apartments in there. Let's put a park. We did it over here in North Park, over here. Let's build a park right there. Just because investor wants to get richer, we want to sacrifice the people from Bassett. Let's use our heads and use our heart to help the people, the community. They're part of our community, Bassett. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else that would like to come up? Being that there is no further interest, I will now close the public speaking portion of this meeting. Thank you all for coming up your comments are always appreciated. We are now moving to item number 1, report of officers for the council reorganization. It is recommended that the city council follow the established procedures set forth with the city policy as follows. At the city council reorganization meeting in 2025 and each year thereafter, the city council will appoint a council member to serve as mayor and a council member to serve as mayor pro tem in accordance with the following. The current mayor pro tem will automatically succeed the appointed and be appointed to the position of mayor. The elected council member who has served for the longest continuous period of time on the city council who has not yet served as mayor will be appointed as mayor pro tem. And now we will go on to the presentation of the gavel presented to the outgoing mayor, myself.
Thank you, Mayor. Do we have her back? So we're going to go ahead and move to the presentation of the gavel plaque presented to our outgoing mayor, Alejandra Avila.
My apologies. We are changing the order of this. So what we are going to do first, we are going to make a recommendation for Mayor Pro Tem Danny Damon to become our mayor for the city of Baldwin Park. Do I have a recommendation?
I make a recommendation that Mayor Pro Tem Daniel Damian becomes the mayor of the city of Baldwin Park.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Do we need a vote for that? Go ahead.
Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0.
Right.
thank you. We will go into speeches a little bit after that. Now, do I have a recommendation to accept as Mayor Pro Tem Ms. Jean Amayala?
I'll go ahead and motion.
Do I hear a second?
I will second.
May I have roll call, please?
We have a motion by Councilmember Lozano, a second by Mayor Pro Tem, soon to be Mayor Damian, Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Thank you. The floor is yours, Mayor Damien.
Thank you, Mayor Avila. And now we will move on to a presentation of the gravel plaque presentation to the outgoing mayor, Alejandra Avila. And before I present this plaque to our outgoing mayor, I just want to say that I am so proud of the work that she's done and the leadership that she showed us during the last year. As we all know, it was no easy task for her, but she took the reins and she showed what leadership was. And so Alejandra Avila, mayor of the city of Baldwin Park, I present you with the plaque and just know that we are very proud of the work that you did.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And then she also has her own Mayor Avila Boulevard, 2425.
Can I put it on my screen?
Don't try to have
Thank you.
And then we also have for her this bouquet of flowers.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then what we will do is we'll take a quick picture and then we'll go ahead and say some words for our outgoing mayor before we get sworn in.
Oh, yes. Since this will be my new seat, I'll use this microphone. I want to thank the City of Baldwin Park and my council members for having me sit as the first rotating mayor in the City of Baldwin Park. It has truly been an honor. I want to say that it's not a seat to take lightly. It keeps you very busy. The City of Baldwin Park did go through some moments unheard of for us. But we stuck together as a city. And I mentioned earlier at our Christmas luncheon that because as a team, as a city, not as different departments, we stood together as one. And that's how we were able to move forward. As you know, there was a lot going on. And it continues to go on, not just in my city, but in everybody's city. And as long as we stay together as a community, as council members, then I think we're going to be okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
And then at this moment, I'll bring up any presentations that we may have from Senator Susan Rubio's office, Congressman Cisneros' office, Assemblymember Rubio's office, and City of El Monte, Mayor Ancona. And then I don't know, I'm sorry if I missed Hilda Solis's office. If you're here as well and you want to say a few words, you're more than welcome to come up as well.
Good evening, everyone. It's really an honor to be back here in a place where I served 13 years. I sat where probably you are sitting or where the new mayor is going to be sitting. I just want to say thank you to the service that our Mayor Alejandra Avila provided to our community. There was a lot of challenges that I think the community doesn't necessarily get to see. But first, I want to acknowledge the fires that started in January. And the interesting part is that we think it's so far removed from Baldwin Park, but it did affect us quite significantly. And I think someone already mentioned the environmental justice issue that came about those fires. And the mayor Alejandra, myself, and a few other mayors had to stick together and really fight the injustice that was done during that time where they brought the toxic waste to our neighboring city. And she was there every step of the way. It wasn't easy. She joined me at a town hall where we had over 500 people really upset. And it was her leadership, her dedication, along with the neighboring mayors of Irwindale and Susan Duarte that really put this issue in the forefront. And because of her efforts and those other mayors, we were able to secure $4 million. I was able to bring $4 million for that park that will be delivered this coming year. And we're going to turn that toxic waste space into a beautiful community park that everyone can come and participate. But that really shows how your Mayor Alejandra Avila was there every day fighting alongside all of us that were impacted. I live here in Baldwin Park, so it also impacted me personally. Not to mention the shootings that we had where tragically one of our police officers was murdered. And that was a tough time. It really challenged our police department, our community. But nonetheless, as she already stated, we came together as a community and really it was a beautiful sight to see just everyone coming forward to acknowledge what had happened, but it was her steady leadership that led us through those difficult times. And we've all seen the ice rates that have destabilized our communities, created fear. And once again, there she was, it was her leadership that has, put Baldwin Park in the forefront of so many issues that matter to you. So again, on behalf of myself, your state senator, Susan Rubio, on behalf of the state Senate, I cannot be more thankful for her partnership this last year. And, and I see her a lot because it was a very challenging year. And so to be the first rotating mayor and have to deal with so many issues that came together at once, really, it's a tremendous testament to your steady really steady leadership that was thoughtful, that was caring, and she was very engaged. I saw her everywhere. So really, she needs to be commended for what she did this past year. So on behalf of the California State Senate, it is my honor to recognize your outstanding leadership and invaluable contributions during your tenure as mayor of the city of Baldwin Park. Your unwavering dedication has left an incredible legacy of service in the 22nd Senate District. You have represented your constituents with honor, and your leadership has had a lasting impact on families throughout the city of Baldwin Park. As your term as mayor concludes, we express our deepest gratitude. And I've already stated why I think we should be honoring her today. And I'm going to ask for just another big round of applause for everything she's done on behalf of everyone.
Thing really quick to the Senator Rubio. If it wasn't because of Senator Rubio, I wouldn't be up here. She she actually got me into doing this. I was already working with the communities through the school district because I work for the school district. But it was her leadership and the way she role modeled what a leader should look like and what a leader should be doing and how they should be leading, the reason that I'm up here. So thank you.
I'm sorry, but I also have to congratulate our new mayor, who's also a dear friend. And congratulations, my friend. And I'm sure he's going to be equally, dedicated and a wonderful leader. So we want to commend you as well. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
The next, Congressman Cisneros' office.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Catalina Valera. I'm from the Office of Congressman Cisneros. I'm a field representative and a caseworker. I just want to say, coming up in January, I'll be with the congressman for a year. So I've been getting to know Baldwin Park for a year. I've been getting to know Mayor for a year, and now Mayor Pro Tem, who's become a mayor. It's been an honor getting to know everyone in the city of Baldwin Park, and kind of want to reiterate what the mayor said earlier, that I really truly have seen Baldwin Park stick together through some tragic things and some great things too that's been going on in Baldwin Park. And with that, I want to present the certificate on behalf of the congressman in heartfelt recognition of your outstanding leadership as mayor of the city of Baldwin Park, a dynamic community of approximately 70,000 residents, which I know there's more, who proudly call Baldwin Park home. Throughout your time as mayor, you have exemplified unwavering dedication to advocating for the needs of your constituents while promoting a strong sense of community pride. Your initiatives have not only improved the quality of life of residents, but have also fostered economic growth and development, making Baldwin Park a vibrant and welcoming place for all. On behalf of California's 31st Congressional District, I extend my sincere appreciation for your invaluable contributions to the city of Baldwin Park, enhancing the experience of residents, businesses, and visitors alike. Signed, Congressman Gilbert Cisneros. Thank you. Sorry, guys, lots of pictures.
Assemblywoman Rubio's office.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor Damian, Council, Mayor Pro Tem, congratulations, and community. I am Veronica Lopez. I'm here on behalf of Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio, and in our office. We want to provide our sincerest congratulations and appreciation to outgoing Mayor Alejandra Avila. Congratulate her and on her being the city's first Mexican-American appointed to serve as mayor.
Just
Mexican. Sorry, Mexican. Correction, Mexican. Your leadership and integrity is commendable, always putting the residents and the businesses' best interests and well-being before major decisions. You stood by your residents, opposing the use of Lario Park as a collection site for the Ethan fire debris, ensuring transparency by county and federal agencies when it came to residents' health and environmental impact in the San Gabriel Valley. Alejandra, your empathy and ability to unite the community demonstrated your extraordinary leadership during one of Baldwin Park's worst moments. With a broken heart, you helped ensure the community had an outlet to grieve, and the men and women of the Baldwin Park Police Department had time to honor and grieve the loss of their brother, Officer Samuel Riveros. May he rest in peace. Personally, I've known Alejandra since my days as a parent in the school district, supporting her initial run for city clerk. And who would have thunk it? Here we are, congratulating you on ending your first year as mayor of Baldwin Park. Thank you. Thank you for your friendship, Alejandra. So therefore, on behalf of Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio and our grateful state of California, we thank you for your leadership as the 2025 mayor of Baldwin Park and for your dedication to public service and to the families of the city. Your efforts have helped shape our community for generations to come. I thank you for your outgoing dedication to the well-being of our residents and for making Baldwin Park an ideal place to live and prosper. Best wishes for continued success. Dated December 17th, Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio. Thank you.
Thank you. And next, we have field representative for Supervisor Hilda Solis's office. Chair Hilda Solis.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Serrano. I serve as Deputy District Director for Board Chair and Supervisor to the First District, Hilda Solis. And on behalf of Supervisor Solis, I just want to extend the deepest of gratitude to outgoing Mayor Avila. I think we've heard it multiple times, some of the things that you were the leader for, and I just want to commend you because you really were there and you stepped up and you were there for the community when they needed it the most. And so on behalf of Supervisor Solis, I just want to commend you for the work you've done and for the work that you will continue to do. And to the new mayor, may you also have the support of your colleagues like outgoing Mayor Avila did. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the next we have from the city of El Monte, Mayor Jessica Ancona.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council, and community of Baldwin Park. On behalf of the City of El Monte, I want to just extend my sincere congratulations and appreciation to Mayor Avila and Mayor Pro Tem Damian for their steadfast leadership during such a challenging year. Watching Mayor Avila from the neighboring city navigate through the tragedy that occurred this year of your fallen police officer. She led with such grace and compassion. I know it's such a challenging opportunity. It's such a tragedy that no mayor should have to face, as I had to lay down to rest 2 of my officers a few years ago. So I watched you from afar and just you handled it with such grace. And I want to thank you for that, for being there for your community, for your police department. I know it's a really challenging time. But nonetheless, you know, you've done such a great job, and I want to congratulate you. And Mayor Pro Tem Damian, I know you will do an amazing job as well. So I just wanted to come and on behalf of the city of El Monte, congratulate you. Thank you. So happy. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. And I'm sorry, say your name. Okay. Oh. And you have to heard of them. Guatemala. Colombia. Oh,
And then next we have from the Baldwin Park Unified School District, President Norma Olmos.
Hi, good evening. Is it on? Is it on? Hi, good evening. I don't have a certificate, but I'm Norma Olmos from Baldwin Park Unified School District, President, Board Member. I just wanted to say congratulations to Alejandra Avila for doing a great job for being our first woman mayor. And we're happy that she also worked for Baldwin Park Unified School District. Still there. And I also wanted to congratulate Mayor Danny Damian, and also Ms. Gina Ayala for her pro tem. And she also works for Baldwin Park Unified School District. So we're lucky to have them in the city and the district. And I just, wanted to say behalf of all of our board and our district that they can't be here, but to congratulate both of them, all of them, and to continue doing a great job, because we are here to work together with the Baldwin Park Unified School District and the city, because we're here for the community, for our kids, for our children, and just to congratulate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we owe you a certificate.
It's in the mail.
All right, well, I want to thank all of our representatives for being here. We appreciate it very much. Now we're going to move on to the administration of oath of office to the incoming mayor, myself, I guess, and our newly Mayor Pro Tem, Jean M. Ayala. So if we can have Veronica Lopez. Oh, she's behind me. And then if I can have my mom come up to hold the Bible.
Swearing you, Christopher.
My back's gonna be on you guys. I state your name.
I, Daniel Damian,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, in the future.
Congratulations.
I have the mic. Are you using this mic?
Oh, we all have that.
Oh, Lozano goes over there. Yeah,
All right, and next we're going to go ahead and do the administration of oath for our new Mayor Pro Tem, Jean M. Ayala, and administering the oath is our city clerk, Christopher Science.
yes, and I'd like to have my family come on up. My godchildren are here. Julio and Grace Sanchez are here. I'd like them to come up as well. I see very many people I'd like to come on up here. So I've taught you over here, you come over here. If I've taught you, ooh, some people have left. If I work with you, come on up. You want to see? Come on up. I see my colleagues. Don't be afraid. Come on up. Tonyo, come on up, Tonyo. Sugar Plum, come on up. Let's go. Primo, come on up. Well, I worked with a lot of people here. I'm so excited. Thank you. My principal, my assistant principal, my colleagues are hiding in the corner. Come on up. Don't be afraid. I'll get in the, we'll figure it. Four room on that other side.
Yeah, right.
David Ocañas, come on up. Oh, they come over there? Yeah. Bring him on that side. Bring him on this. Come on over. Come on.
Left hand on the Bible, and please raise your right hand. As city clerk, it is my honor and privilege to administer this oath, which is required by Article 20, Section 3 of the Constitution of the State of California. Please repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
And I will support the Constitution
the Constitution of the State of California, against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, and
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and
to the Constitution of the State of California,
state of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take obligation
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duty
upon which I am about to enter.
on which I am a
Congratulations.
Hey, we're gonna get a photo. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And stay up here because we're gonna get a photo. Yeah, hurry up, Daniel. Hey, Daniel's coming. Daniel?
All right.
You know where I got it?
Not my best, 67. I'm trying to. Yeah, we're there too. Right.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and take a 5-10 minute recess. We're gonna reorganize the chairs, and then if I can have my family and who's here with me come up and take a picture.
I'm gonna check it right now.
She keeps that, or is that for you? I know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to redo it. Yeah. Thanks.
Council, we are live.
Thank you, David. All right, so thank you guys for that recess. So we didn't skip council comments. So I'm going to go ahead and start from my right to my left with Mayor Pro Tem Jean M. Ayala. You want to say a few comments?
I do have a few comments, and first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here. I do want to take this opportunity to thank everyone present here today. As I took my oath of office as Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Baldwin Park. This is my second time in 3 years that I've been afforded the opportunity to serve our community in this capacity. I appreciate the chance to step into this position once again and continue to serve our wonderful community. I want to take a moment to acknowledge my family, my forever angels, my parents, Luis and Socorro Ayala, who over 60 years ago came to the East San Gabriel Valley to raise their family here in Baldwin Park. I want to acknowledge my siblings, my brother Louis, Chito as we call him, our other angel in heaven, my sister Kathy, my brother Joe, and my sisters Jackie and Joanne. Because of our upbringing, the idea of service continues to be a part of me. Through my career of 33 years as a tenured veteran teacher with the Baldwin Park Unified School District, I continue to support this community by educating my littles and their families every single day, and I'm loving every minute of it. I want to thank everyone for their continued support by your presence here today, your phone calls and your texts. I appreciate the continued teamwork of city staff under the leadership of our CEO, Manuel Carrillo Jr., and our department directors. So thank you so much. As they say, you are only as good as those around you. I am very fortunate to have an amazing staff here, not just here at the City Hall, but my Baldwin Park Unified School District staff, more specifically, my Walnut School family, my administrators, and I believe they did have to leave. They do have to start school tomorrow. Our principal, my principal, Gabriela Espinosa, my assistant principal, Michelle Samaripa, along with numerous colleagues, teachers, and classified staff, parents, and my students, both past and present, who I saw here today with me. So I'm very honored by their presence. They all have continued to support and guide me. I want to say thank you to all of those who have continued to care, guide, and support me, my family all over our wonderful country who are watching live on YouTube, my compadres who are here, two of my godchildren who are here, my neighbors, friends, and families. Special thanks to those closest to me for their honesty, trustworthiness, and loyalty that they show me on the daily basis. Thank you to my cheetah for your example of resilience and integrity. God is good. God is good. I want to thank everyone again. And as the only native homegrown since birth council member and proud of it, I will continue to work for this great community of Baldwin Park. We cannot please everyone all the time. We do try. But as I've always said, I do what I do because I feel that it's the right thing to do. And I will always face situations with the determination of the Ayalas and the grace of my mother. So thank you so much.
Councilmember Lozano? Go.
Thank the newly appointed mayor, as well as the mayor pro tem. And it's I think what more unique as well, and I just want to share also with outgoing Mayor Alejandra Avila, that you actually became the first female in the 21st century as a rotating mayor, because the last time the rotating mayor in the city of Baldwin Park was 1977. From 1978, it was elected all the way up to November of 2020, where Mr. Estrada served in the first immigrant. And I want to acknowledge you. We've known each other for many, many years, and it's important for us. I know that your leadership will flourish. There's no doubt. We work really good and very close this 1 year, and I look forward to your tenure as the mayor of the city of Baldwin Park, Mr. Damian, and also to the mayor pro tem, whom I've known for many, many years. Also,
your second Mayor Pro Tem position as well. So I want to recognize you for that and all you've done to this community. We're going to work together. Thank you.
Councilmember Estrada.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I, last week I jokingly, thanked Alex for giving me a break, right? Because she took over after the first rotation but on a serious note, I really do thank Alejandra for her leadership, for her courage, for sticking up for Baldwin Park and our residents. And, Alejandra, we've noted it multiple times that Alejandra is not only the third woman mayor in our history, because we need more, but she's also our first woman mayor in over 20 years. And of course, the first 21st century woman mayor. And there's nobody better to take on that title and that accomplishment than Alex. And a lot of the times, we think that being on the council or being mayor or being the face of the city is, ribbon cutting and always laughs and smiles. And I know that Alejandra had a lot of challenges to deal with. And, I acknowledge those. And, there was nobody better this year than Alejandra to take on those challenges, whether they were environmental or, related to human rights or to our community. And I really want to acknowledge that and congratulate Alejandra for a successful term. And of course, our first Latina mayor. So, it's a big accomplishment, not just for Alejandra, but for all of us. And I know that Alejandra was our first mayor to take on the rotation. And, but that's what this is about. That's what leadership is about, by showing that, the face of the city, the face of Baldwin Park isn't just one person. It's everybody up here, and it can look like any one of us up here, but it can also look like anybody down there. And I'm hopeful that helps, younger women and aspiring women to see Alex, whether they're immigrant or not, whether they have a similar background to Alex or not, but know that Alex can do it, they can do it as well. So thank you, Alex. I know that, and of course, to our new mayor, I'm excited for your tenure. You're gonna have to hit the gavel a little bit harder, but over in that, we're all here to work together and support you. And I'm confident that you will be a voice of reason for the community and building that partnership with them as well. So congratulations.
Mayor Avila.
Councilmember Avila. Again, I want to thank everybody that came today and all the kind words that you expressed. It truly means a lot. But I couldn't have done it on my own. As I said, this city is amazing. All of our staff and employees are amazing, and we did it together. I didn't do it alone. It was our staff, our community, and my colleagues that helped us get through this. So thank you. And I want to congratulate Mayor Danny Damian. I am extremely excited that you are now the mayor. I know the city will continue to move forward because I think we all have that vision of unity. And you're proven unity because you do so much for our community already. I look forward to your work, your kindness to continue as always. And I'm very excited to see you in that role. And I know you're going to do an amazing job. So thank you. Thank you for taking on the mayor role. Appreciate it. And for our Mayor Pro Tem, congratulations on your Mayor Pro Tem. I know you will have to step in if the mayor is not available. Congratulations. You've been with this city forever. You've lived here, like you said, your whole life. And I know you will continue to do great things for us. Thank you.
Thank you for that. First, I just want to say to our outgoing mayor, Alejandra Avila, like I said before, I couldn't be more proud of the work that you did. I've got to work with you these last 5 years. I got to see, and experience the leadership that you did within the last year, even though, as we all know, it was a very difficult year. But you went out there, you did what you had to do, and always made the right decisions based on what you thought was best for our community and for our city. And for that, I think we're always going to be grateful. Obviously, I won't reiterate, how important it is for us to continue to work together as a council, because that's how we get things accomplished. And I'm very proud to say that, over the last year, as a whole, as a body, as a whole, as a city council, we've been able to make some tough decisions, and we're still going to continue to do that, but always with the mind that we're going to do what's best for not only our residents, but for our city as well. And I continue to look forward to working with all of you to make sure that we're making these right decisions. To our Mayor Pro Tem, congratulations. I know that you will do well in my absence. You will take the reins. I've seen you done it before, and I know you will again. So I'm looking forward to working with you as my Mayor Pro Tem. And I'll just keep my comments very brief in regards to mayorship. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is not what I signed up for. You know, when I ran for city council, I ran for city council just to have a seat at the table. You know, to work with, you know, whatever city council was here, making sure that we are going to make the best decisions for our city. And most importantly, to provide a better quality of life for all of our residents, our city staff. You know, it's very important. You know, for once, I'm gonna be very honest and transparent with you. I am very excited in the position that we're in right now with our new city manager, Manny Carrillo at the helms, our city attorney and his law firm, as well as our executive team and all of our staff. I think that we are now in a position where we have a very good executive team and administration to move the city forward. We've got some challenges ahead of us, but together we're going to go ahead and make sure that we work together to make the right decisions, to make sure that City of Baldwin Park continues to flourish the way we have been over the last few years. So again, I continue, you know, look forward to working with each and every one of you. And to our residents, I will always say, continue to hold us accountable. We may sometimes not agree, but it's okay to disagree as long as we know we're making the best decisions for our community. So once again, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you and for all of you for being here. And now we're going to get down to business. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our consent calendar. Council colleagues, is there any one of you wishing to pull any items?
Mayor,
Yes,
I wanted to pull number 8.
number 8. Any other members wishing to pull any projects? Any items? No? I'm going to go ahead and pull number 7. So if there's no one else wishing to pull any items, I will make a motion to approve items 2 through 6, and we're pulling 7 and 8. That is my motion.
I'll go
I'll
ahead and
second.
make the motion.
Okay, we have a first and a second. City Clerk, can we get roll call?
Just want to confirm that the motion was made by Councilwoman Ayala.
No, it was Councilman Lozano. And seconded by her.
Great. We have a motion by Councilmember Lozano, second by Mayor Pro Tem Ayala to adopt items 2 through 6. Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada, Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. All right, now we're going to go to item 7. That is my item. I just briefly pulled this item. I want to thank Daniel from Public Works. This is something that we as a council had been pushing for a very long time. And we're finally getting this bid out so that we can start doing some of the sidewalk repairs. I know we've got some other sidewalk repairs that are be coming down the pipeline, but this is a big start. So I just wanted to say thank you, Daniel, and I just wanted to pull this item so that the community is aware that we're working on those sidewalks. Does anyone else have any comments on item 7?
I just want to add a comment. I want to thank you also, Daniel, because I know you came in and that was one of the many things that we threw at you. And you gladly picked it up and said, oh, I'm working on it. And then you were able to get more funding for it. So we greatly appreciate it because I know our sidewalks need a lot of tender loving care. And our residents have been coming to us. And I know you said that if we have more to just give you the list. So just be ready. I have more. Thank you.
Mayor?
Yes, go ahead,
I'll go ahead and,
Councilmember Lozano.
I move to authorize item number 7.
Got a motion by Councilmember Lozano to approve item 7. Do we got a second?
Second.
Got second by Councilmember Estrada. City Clerk, can we get roll call?
Councilmember Avila, Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that. Item 7 passes 5-0. Moving on to number 8, Councilmember Estrada, that's your item.
Thank you, Mayor. Same as you. I just wanted to bring up item number 8 and thank staff and of course the office of current chair of the Board of Supervisors, Hilda Solis, for making another year possible of Esperanza Villa and Esperanza Villa. I don't know why I'm saying Villa. Esperanza Villa and Serenity Homes, and we know the impact that these places have for our families that are in current at the most vulnerable times in their life economically, and just providing them that stability and that safety. I know that we've been very supportive of these projects since day one, and I just it's always a pleasure to be able to be up here and give them credit, and of course all of our staff that make these programs successful, like our police department and everybody else from Rose to signing the checks to all of our staff and Manny. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, and also CityNet, and just ask that we continue to work towards finding funding, hopefully more longer term. I know that La Casa is getting ready to do some NOFAs. Not entirely sure in what capacity, but it's important that we keep an eye on these agencies and apply as soon as possible whenever these opportunities arise. Thank you. So that was it, Mayor. Just wanted to make sure that we work towards longevity.
Councilmember Avila, you had a comment?
Yes, thank you. Also on item number 8, I absolutely agree. We are very fortunate to have CityNet on board, and that we were able to get the funds to continue to operate. And I want to thank the office of Hilda Solis, also Chair Supervisor Hilda Solis, to help us with those funds. And just to add to that, last night we had a Christmas dinner for our families, and I had quite a few families actually tell me what a great job CityNet is doing and how kind they are. We even had some returning families coming back that they were there, they came to visit, to say thank you, because now they have permanent housing, and to say that CityNet, the staff from CityNet helped her throughout the way. There was times that she didn't know what to do, and CityNet just walked them right through it to be able to obtain permanent housing. So we don't take these things lightly. As we said before, we care for our whole community, whether you have permanent housing, whether you don't have permanent housing. You're all people that we care about, and we will continue to work for every single one of you residents. And the fact that Supervisor Solis, as well as Senator Rubio, Assemblywoman Rubio, they're always trying to help fund these programs. I thank them all, because it is important. They are our residents. They are Baldwin Park community members that we will continue to support. And thank you, CityNet, for continuing to provide those great services. And just hearing the residents last night mention how great they are really was a good thing to hear. So thank you.
Thank you for that, Councilmember Avila. Any other comments from council colleagues? No, before we make a motion on this item, City Attorney does have a comment.
Yes, Mayor and Council, on this item, we do recommend that you approve it. We've got to get this in place December 23rd, and staff will proceed to finalize the contract. Staff is just noticed after the posting of the agenda, there's some questions that we need to work out with the contractor on one issue, just so we would ask that you'd approve this, but just with the understanding that staff has the authority to work out the details of that one question.
All right, can we get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We got first and second. City Clerk, can we get roll call?
We have a motion by Councilmember Estrada, second by Councilmember Avila, to adopt item number 8. Councilmember Avila. Councilmember Estrada.
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala.
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. All right, item 8 passed 5-0. There is no public hearing. We're going to go ahead and move on to reports of officers. Item number 9, authorization to enter into agreement with the retired annuitant for Property and Evidence Bureau backlog services using Measure BP fund. Who will be presenting this? Chief?
Well, I'll begin with one of the things we did. I initiated an audit of our evidence bureau, and as a result of the audit, we determined that there's quite a bit of excessive property and evidence that we have stored, and we need to purge it. So hiring the retired annuitant will allow us to focus specifically on that task and remove some of the items that we have stored for over close to 20 years. So that's the need for the retired annuitant. He's a retired sergeant from Azusa Police Department, and he has extensive knowledge and experience in the purging process that we are undertaking.
Thank you for that information, Chief. Does any of my city council colleagues have any questions on item 9? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve item 9?
I'll go ahead and motion.
I'll second.
We got a first and second. City Clerk, can we get roll call?
We have a motion by Councilmember Lozano, second by Councilmember Avila to adopt item number 9. Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. Moving on to item 10, under reports of officers, contract for animal shelter and animal control services with Inland Valley Humane Society and SPCA. Captain Hendricks, will you be presenting?
Yes, I will, Mayor.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council. I was asked to present an additional PowerPoint tonight for Council as sort of an overview of the staff report, as well as a little bit more in-depth detail when it comes to the fiscal impact to the city. This, of course, is a follow-up to the special meeting from December 3rd, where we just did a staff, I believe it was a staff study session, where their presentations were made. If I can just go to the next slide, please. So here we just see, this is sort of an executive summary of the staff report that was presented. This basically in a nutshell, and I'm just going to kind of go through some highlights here and I don't really like reading straight from PowerPoint. So this will save the city, and these estimations I wanted to sort of highlight come from the finance department, but it will save the city approximately $1.35 million over the initial 2-term agreement, which is what we're asking for. And if you look at the 3-year projections made, just given the 10% increase on year 2, as well as the potentially no cap limitations from our current contract with the Department of Animal Control and Care, we see an estimated savings of $2.35 million. Whereas with the current contract being presented before you, it is a flat set rate. And so we don't get these unknown variables or differences in housing costs or flat rate fees. The contract that was being presented by IVHS is a flat rate across the year 1 with a potential of up to a 5% increase on year 2, which through what's called a CPI. I think it's I don't want to butcher that term, but I know it's a CPI, which is almost like a cost index. I can get the next slide, please. So this is sort of the meat and potatoes of the fiscal impact that I highlighted just on the last slide. And I wanted to begin by, when I was going over this, correcting a typographical error or a typo, if you will, on the written staff report on page 1. And I want to just pull it real quick so I can go over it with you. If you notice under the fiscal impact, under fiscal year 26-27, where it talks about the provider being the Department of Animal Control and Care, I inadvertently put 1,750. That should have been a comma with 2 additional zeros to say $1,750,000. So just wanted to take a quick moment to make that clarification during this presentation. This, again, talking about it, this is a projection of based on either current monthly bills that we've had or the increase that we've seen over the entirety of this, why we think that this is a fiscally sound move for us to present this to council. One of the things that I wanted to also touch upon, and although this is a fixed flat rate from the Inland Valley Humane Society, which has a total cost of $1,085,000 for the year, one thing that doesn't take into considerations is the actual revenue that would be generated from this could reduce that even further. So if we had a typical estimation of $150,000 to $200,000, then it would reduce the contract costs between the $800,000 to $900,000 range with even more potential savings for the city. So next slide, please. Some of the questions that were asked and I wanted to kind of touch upon were, how did we get here? What caused this? And this by no means is a fault of anybody's. This started in 2016 through LA County through it was an audit done, I want to say, through a consulting company called MGT. And the county itself, they needed to look at how they were going to continue to provide services. So they had to do an audit. They had to say, hey, we can no longer subsidize the surrounding municipal cities. And so they developed a 6-year plan to sort of say, hey, cities, we're going to slowly roll our assistance back. And I just don't think at that time we as cities realized what that actually entailed for us. So one of the things that I just kind of wanted to do was go into that. So the study recommended for the county a 6-year strategic implementation plan that will end as of the 2026 year. And there was a couple things that I wanted to highlight on there, and I'm sure there's more to it, but some of the things that affected us was the flat bait reeling period increased from 5 days to 6 days to 7 days until next year it would be a flat fee where a 10-day minimum will be charged to the city for pets that are being taken into the shelter. Secondly was the subsidy being reduced for the city. Roughly, if I looked at the chart right, 10% per year. So with 2026, like this year, we paid 90% of it with still some assistance from the county. Beginning in 2026, we would now have the fully encumbered amount being paid for by the city of Baldwin Park. Next slide, please. So this is just, again, a breakdown of the proposal and what the cost would be from both the Inland Valley Humane Society and the LA County contract that we're currently under, which is from 2024 to 2029. Again, it talks about the 5% CPI cap for the subsequent years, plus the one-time $100,000 infrastructure fee that's spread over 2 years for two $50,000 payments. Next slide, please. And finally, we see just a historical cost levels of what we paid from 2021 to our current year. And we can see the costs that have jumped up quite significantly. And I don't have it in front of me, and I think I included it on there, but it was 110% increase if we look at it from the years 2021 to 22 versus where we're at from years 2024 to 2025. Basically, we went from paying close or approximately $534,000 a year to over $1.1 million. And that cost has been estimated to be about $1.6 million by the end of this year. So again, from a financial standpoint, it caused the police department to just want to look out and present different options to the cities. We don't have a preference on what it is that you guys want to do, but I felt that we wanted to at least be able to say, hey, is there an alternative for you as city council to look at and to compare the sort of services as well as the cost? Because everything doesn't always have to come down to cost, and we're fully aware of that. But one of the things that that we did present last time was that the costs, or I'm sorry, the service for services were if not the same, but better with certain things. So next slide, please. And I probably overdid it with some of the slides because I feel like I've already sort of touched on this one. It's just another overview of some of the financial and fiscal either forecasts or what the current payments are. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this slide as well. So this is just a slide again on some of the talking points shared at the study session that kind of talks about the Inland Valley Humane Society and just their tenure in this game. So this isn't a new or untested provider. In fact, we discussed last time that I think they had 9 cities and to include La Habra, which was just I want to get that right. I think they were like just a housing city as well, but I had to get my numbers corrected for me. So they've been around since 1949 and have 76 years worth of service. They currently provide animal control services to the 9 municipalities. I guess I should have just read this, to include cities like Covina, Pomona, and Diamond Bar. One thing to note is, although we've always had the luxury of having the LA County facility within our city, this facility isn't that far away. It's approximately 10 miles away, located in the city of Pomona. I've had the opportunity to go out there, tour the facility, see that it is modern, well-maintained, and a more of a state-of-the-art facility, if you will. They have housing units, enhanced medical facilities, improved public service areas that provide, you know, in my estimation, better conditions for the animals and could potentially provide the same level, if not better service for our community. And just like as before, representatives from the Inland Valley Humane Society are here tonight and can answer any questions if you want. I know one of the side questions that I was asked at the holiday parade was if we went with this and if you guys decided to increase the budget for additional services, because I think that was something the council was aware of, were there alternatives for it? And in a nutshell, yes, it is. While the services themselves will remain the same, if the city were to say, hey, we wanted to increase the costs by, let's say, $100,000, what could we get for that? And one of the things that we discuss with them, and I'll let them go into more detail, is providing an actual dedicated animal control service officer to our city. And that's something that we haven't ever seen. So to answer the question that was asked to me, yes, there would be additional services that could be provided if council chose to go in that direction. Next slide, please. Again, as discussed before, this is just the services maintained or enhanced. So as you can see here, it talks about the services that could be provided if we went over, as well as some enhanced services that are included at no additional cost for your review. Next slide, please. So just to kind of go over the key contract provisions of this. This to us provides us with some stability in the sense of we know what our costs are going to be for the next 2 years. It isn't dependent upon, you know, any calculations or animals being cared for, services provided, dogs being dropped off that may or may not be from the city of Baldwin Park. It's just here's the contract, here's the cost, here's the service level with the potential for it to be lowered due to revenue sources coming in from licensing fees and other things. So what we are doing is proposing an initial 2-year term contract to ensure partnership with the IVHS that ensures the city has a partnership and the expectations of what the billing is going to look like moving forward. So we felt that this was a significantly more feasible than our current contract. Because as I said, it's straightforward. It's $1,085,000 for the first year with a $50,000 infrastructure payment. And then year 2 could be capped at a 5% maximum increase with another $50,000 infrastructure payment. So like with the current contract we're in, there are provisions for the city if they wanted to terminate with the contract before the 2 years, same as with the Department of Animal Control and Care. And this agreement includes strong accountability measures, monthly reporting, service level monitoring, and what they discussed last time of 30-day cure periods for any performance issues that if the city had, they can reach out directly to them and they would provide feedback for you. Next slide, please. And so that kind of brings us to the recommendations made in the staff report as listed on there. We are recommending that City Council reviews this and makes the approval of the contract. And again, just sort of reiterating everything. Financially, this makes sense. I think service-wise, this makes sense for the city. And it puts Baldwin Park in a better fiscal sound position, at least for the next 2 years, in which time we can always do additional study sessions if there was other options that the city wanted to take. I know the big concern has been to the residents to, you know, making sure that we have service providers here, which I believe we addressed that during the study session, and to ensure that our residents don't see a drop in service. So with that, any questions from either myself or a representative or the president from the Inland Valley Humane Society?
Thank you for that, Captain Hendricks. Do any of my council colleagues have any questions, comments?
Mayor,
Go ahead, Councilman Estrada.
I know that we are, I think we're eager to, for one, make sure that we're saving money, being fiscally responsible. And I know that we are also trying to do what's best for our community and our residents and trying to find some of these contracting services. But I also, I've heard some of the concerns about residents And of course, here in public comment, I know some of those issues are such as, what are some of the services where people will have to drive 10 or 11 miles to Pomona? Well, that residents, there's certain concerns such as having access to that. To us, there's different concerns as to how our relationship balances out, and there's a different portion to it that residents don't see, and I completely understand that. We know that it's something that we've been looking forward to. I would like to better understand what are some of the services that we are going to have to augment because of the distance between Pomona and Baldwin Park. I think we're eager, but we shouldn't rush. I know somebody mentioned that West Covina switched from IBHS back to county. I mean, I'd like to understand what some of those reasons were. If we're going to make a switch to IBHS and go to Pomona, we want to make sure that we have all of these issues sorted out. If we're going to augment services from IBHS or the animal shelter here in the Baldwin Park, we want to make sure that all of that is resolved before we take the leap into this contract. I think one of the biggest concerns is when residents aren't, just alone when it kind of came to light to residents that we are looking to switching this. There's a lot of questions that come to mind. Me personally, I have pets and I 100% understand making sure that our pets are taken care of and that we have the services for them. Personally, I've never actually gone to the shelter and needing those services, but I know that other residents have, right? So trying to understand what are some of the concerns that residents have on their side so that we can mitigate those, because otherwise, we're starting a partnership that's not whole or complete. And now we kind of have to do some damage control to try to get everything up to par. So, I think it would be beneficial to us to understand what's going to have to be augmented. We're not going to, I know that we're looking at the numbers and we're seeing a big portion of dollars being saved. But I think realistically, there's no way that we are going to save every single one of those dollars noted. That's the best case scenario. We're going to have to augment these services to a certain extent. So I think it would move us to look at these numbers and look at the resources and services that residents are going to have to need beyond the fiscal savings for the city.
Does anyone else have any questions or
Yeah,
comments?
Let me just add, Captain, you mentioned that the other services that's available, and I forget what it was, that obviously would be additional cost.
So what I was asked for, because the service that's being provided would stay the same. It's not an a la carte menu, if you will. We're being provided the same amount of services as our current contract provides. So, but to sort of answer the question, what if we wanted more? What if we wanted a dedicated animal control officer for the city? Would, for example, $100,000 be enough to get an actual dedicated officer for the city? And the answer to that was yes. And one of the things, and I think that the council member Sauter brings up a great question as far as pet drop-offs in Pomona. Maybe one of the things we should look at is how many times does an individual actually go there to just drop off a pet? Because I would think that number probably wouldn't be that high. And so we're talking about probably a small percentage of people that would have to drive, instead of maybe 1 to 3 miles within the city, an additional 10 to 11 miles to go to Pomona. So maybe that's something we can look at through the billing process of in the past and provide that answer for council as well.
And then just let me add, and then I guess we'll have them come up and say what would be their role, and specifically what Councilmember Estrada just brought up, which are definitely good questions that we need to look at prior to making the decision. I want to know, like, what's the actual role of that particular unit that would be here and servicing now. And I'm certain that the county, because I've been there on many occasions, drop off animals, some of the residents that don't care for them anymore, right? And yes, the convenience, it's down the street, and I understand that part. But at the same time, these other points that just got brought up are definitely concerning. But let's hear from the individual that's about to speak.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members. My name is Nicole Bresciani, President and CEO of Inland Valley Humane Society and SPCA. So I'm sorry if I ask a question again, because it's hard to hear in the back row, but I do want to clarify. So I think what you were saying is that you did hear from a member of the public that was concerned about the distance. So We have had partners for over 30 years that have traveled 17 miles from their furthest reaches from the shelter, and they were the heaviest users of those services. We have current partners that are 11, 12 miles away. So really it's about accessibility of services, viewing animals online, right? Our animals are available to be seen 24 hours a day, all year long. So if somebody's missing a pet, they should check the website if they can first before coming, obviously, because nobody wants to sit in any kind of traffic, whether it's sitting at the railroad tracks or sitting on the freeway. However, they can give us a call. We can check our system if they say they've missed an animal that has the describer. Same stuff that you would also get at the county. I'm not saying that's a different service. To your point about if somebody has accessibility issues, we have worked that out. We really try hard, just like the county does, to do return to field. So we always want to return animals to their home before coming back to the shelter. Nobody wants animals in the shelter. We've expressed that. County would say the same thing. The best place is for them to be in their home. And the chances of them being reunited at a shelter versus in their home, rather than return to field, is also decreases. So we always try to have the officer return to field. We always try to encourage, just as the county does, for people to hold on to animals, because when they're lost only a couple miles from their home, you want to try to have the neighbors try to reunite, because that's their best chance to make it home. So we always work with residents. And if somebody can't get down, we're willing to talk about returning that animal to them if we know that that's the owner. We work out payment for redemption fees, all of that stuff, if the animal actually does end up in our shelter. But really, we don't hear about distance being an issue from our constituents. And so to the point about what that officer would be doing if you have a dedicated officer, for the fully burdened rate, including overtime, would be $125,000 to have an officer that would be dedicated. What that means is that the officer is assigned to your community, and that officer, whoever that officer is on that given day, would be assigned to patrol. So right now, what happens in most of our models is there's a shared resource pooling, right? So you pull from one city to the other depending upon resources. And that's true no matter where you go, except for if you have someone assigned, it means that somebody's going to be actively in your community. Otherwise, you're getting calls for service just like every other community is. And of course, we're responding. And priority calls, as we mentioned before in our previous session, dog bites, aggressive, loose animal, those kinds of calls take priority over a confined stray animal. So to your question about if somebody wants to drop off an animal, but they're like, I'm not driving to Pomona, they can call and ask for an officer to be dispatched. But just like other agencies, it won't be a priority. They're not going to get somebody out in 30 minutes. It will take some time to get to them, but it's still going to be on our call log to complete.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I had a question, a follow-up question to that. So when you say it's going to be on their call log, are we talking about hours or are we talking about days?
No, hours.
Hours. Okay. So within the same day.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Did you have a question, Councilor?
I have.
Avila?
Okay, thank you. First of all, Captain, thank you for the presentation. It was very, very detailed, and I appreciate the presentation, and I appreciate the presentation you brought to us 2 weeks ago. Of course, when we look at dollars, that always catches our attention because we always want to make sure that our community's money is being spent properly. But at the same time, we want to make sure that they are receiving the services that we need. I know we have had experiences where we're not getting the services that we need. For example, I've had to call because there is a dead animal on the street that's been there for days and it smells and nobody shows up, to the point that our public works department has had to show up and pick up the animal because it's been there for days. So that's a big issue because it's a health issue, and to us, it's a big issue. And I understand the priority is very important, that you're going to come in based on the priority. I do appreciate the fact that you will send somebody out if somebody calls because they have a pet that they can't take over to the Pomona area. But what I would like to do is visit the facility in Pomona. We have not been there. I know we've been to the facility here in Baldwin Park. I would like to look at the facility and do get a record, chief, or captain, excuse me, of what other cities that have already contracted with them, what do they feel, how do they feel about the service? I think I talked about it with you last time. What is their feeling on the services? Why did West Covina, as Councilmember Estrada said, why did West Covina change their mind and went back to them? I would like to see all that information. I love the numbers. I do love what you're providing, but I want to see, I haven't heard from the county what is that they are willing to do price-wise and service-wise, because it all makes a difference. And I know we're very comfortable with the shelter being here, but at the same time, I know people come and say, hey, I found the dog on Vineland, and they really didn't find it on Vineland. They found it in another city, but yet they're using our services. So we all know that's being done. But I would like to compare apples with oranges, hear from the county, see the facility. But again, I do like the numbers. I do like the services that you're offering, but I want to hear from the county because we haven't heard from them. Well, what are they offering to offset what you're offering?
Sure. Would you like me to address the West Covina issue? Okay. So, 2017, 2018 is when the county notified cities that the cost escalator was going to be a 5-year, at that point, I believe it was a 5-year step-up plan. I was actually the assistant city manager in the city of West Covina at that time. So I was tasked with finding other resources just as Baldwin Park. We actually convened at the ARC for a big meeting with Marcia Maeda and her staff to try to find cost control measures to figure out what we could do. So at the time, Shannon Yahtzee was the CEO. And so there were measures taken to draft out how far each shelter was, potential shelters. Siaka was even one. I mean, everybody was talking about what all the resources were. Inland Valley Humane Society at the time offered a contract, which was more money than West Covina was paying at the time, but because of the cost escalator that was going to be seen, offered a contract to West Covina and Covina. Covina is still a city partner. And so at the time, months later, after the contract had been negotiated and approved, not by me, I wasn't there at the time, and I wasn't dealing with the contract because my father at the time was the CEO of the Inland Valley Humane Society. So I want a full disclosure because there was a news article about it. A resident came forward and said there must have been double dealing. There absolutely wasn't. City council approved it. City attorney was involved. But then subsequently, as councils changed, city leadership changed, and I found myself exiting. I ended up landing at Inland Valley Humane Society. Did not have that in my forecast for where I was going to end for my career trajectory. And so when I was hired, my board asked me, if you are hired, will we lose the West Covina contract? And I said, absolutely. It's going to be a political decision. So fast forward 2 years from that, we actually offered them a cheaper contract because we did a recalculation of the pooled use, right? If you use more service, you pay more, you use less, you pay less. So at that time, the county came in, I think, about $10,000 less. And the city of West Covina is paying over $1 million today for that contract. So, and that was much more than what we were both at the time quoting them. So I'm very knowledgeable about what took place at that time. And of course, I don't expect you to take my word for it. Absolutely, the captain can do due diligence to find out. But absolutely, these things happen. We've terminated contracts for political reasons. And we've gained them for political reasons. I'm no stranger to the fact that you have a shelter in your backyard, and this isn't just an easy decision to make. And I also have been very honest with the police department in this discussion process about, and with you 2 weeks ago, it can't just be about cost.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate that. I do have another question. I know that in order for us to terminate the contract with LA County, how much time do we have to notify them with?
They indicated 6 months unless that's been modified in the last few hours.
Because, I mean, in order for us to do our due diligence and get information from everyone, that's a lot of pressure. to actually put, you have 6 months to make a decision because we need to make sure that we run those 6 months.
Evening, Mayor, council members. Frank Corvino, I'm Deputy Director with Los Angeles County Animal Control. And we are very willing to shorten that if you wanted to move forward. Also, we'd be very happy to present a formal presentation to the council on what the current services are, what we can do for the city as a host city for the care center that's in the city, and the benefits to that. Well, know that we have some very passionate volunteers. We have some very passionate employees, and we would absolutely love to continue servicing Baldwin Park.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest. Because we're a host city, I think we should receive special treatment. I'm not gonna lie, but that's my feeling. But I would like to hear from the other party again. The services you're providing, you're offering are great. I like the fact that you will be there. You're even offering to have one specific officer here in our city, which we don't have. And that's why we feel the calls take so long, because we do share the officer. To us, that's very important, that we're able to have those emergency calls. To me, that dead animal on the street full of flies, students walking by was an emergency, and they didn't see it as that. And that's very concerning to me. But again, I haven't had a conversation with the county. I haven't seen, what they are willing to do as well, or how we can work together. And to be fair in the process, I would love to see that. I don't know how the rest of my colleagues feel.
If I could add a question. The representative from the county, you had mentioned that there's a possible delay or a shortened period of time, but from a legal standpoint, I'd like to have a commitment as to what that is, because there's a contractual obligation there. So I need to know, if you're going to shorten it, what are we talking about?
I think it was mentioned earlier in a discussion that this could possibly be moved to a February calendar, and we're happy to do a presentation in that time, and then honor from that time to July 1st.
Right. So you're saying by middle of February, then we would need to send a notice canceling the county's contract?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
One more thing I forgot to mention. The hawk situation that I mentioned to you, there's been 2 incidents, and it's unheard of, I'm sure. One year I had a hawk smash into my front door, and we called. They wouldn't help us. They absolutely said they couldn't help us. Who came to the rescue? Again, Public Works. Just a little bit over a month ago, my neighbor had a hawk fly into the home. Unheard of, right? Same thing. We called. We couldn't get through. No service available. We had to, again, have our Public Works department. They don't do those type of things. We need people or services that are going to respond to a need. Imagine you're in your home and there's a hawk flying around and nobody's helping you. So we had to resort to our city staff that are, literally we put them in danger as well. So we need to be able to have those type of answers, and you answered it for me last time, and I appreciate it. Those type of situations that we may not ever expect to happen, we need to know, what would you do in a situation like that? So just so you know, we would like those kinds of answers as well, please.
Yeah, certainly, absolutely. Typically, we don't respond to wildlife unless it's injured or needs rescue, in which case, the case that you described, we should have responded. And I would have loved to have got the details of that. I had not heard that, but certainly we would work on that.
So I do have a couple of questions. I don't know if Inland Valley or Captain Hendricks. So when I'm looking at the key contract provisions under cost structure, you have the revenue credits, license and impound fees automatically credited monthly. So the amount that we're going to be paying annually for the first year, which is $1,135,000, is that already taking into consideration any revenue credits, or is that, so then that means that our annual fees may be less than the $1,035,000?
Yeah, so the 1,035,000 that he's coming up with, or 1,135,000, is including the $50,000 infrastructure. So it's actually 1,085,000.
Correct.
And that's the maximum you would pay. So clearly you're not going to pay that because you're going to have revenue credits. So all of your revenue credits would be deducted from that. So yes, you're going to pay less than that.
Perfect. Okay. I mean, there's a substantial amount of savings, which is I'm looking at, right? I mean, obviously, we don't want to lose the quality of service for our pets. I'm a pet lover. I have 3 dogs. But let me tell you something. I've been very disappointed with the LA County Animal Shelter. I mean, over the last several years, as Councilmember Avila has mentioned, there's been instances where myself or her or other residents have called, and just the level of customer service that we received there has been horrible. And I think that we can do better. I mean, we're talking about, our pets, we love our pets, but yet you guys aren't taking care of our pets the way we would want you guys to. That's one of my frustrations that I've had. And obviously the second thing and the most important thing that I've been looking at from the city's perspective is the cost savings. I mean, just with the amounts that were presented, for the first 3 years, and this is taken into consideration if we would pay $125,000 annually extra to have a dedicated officer in our streets to address the distance, right? Because that's, to be honest with you, there's not going to be, there's no difference in services. I believe that, in my opinion, from the services that we've received, I think we would get better services from the Inland Valley Humane Society. But if we're going to have an issue, I think it's going to be the distance, right? Because I think it is an inconvenience for our residents to have to drive to Pomona. Now, I would like to see data, as Captain Hendricks mentioned, how many people have actually gone to the animal shelter to drop off a dog, right? We don't want, the last thing I would want is for someone to be frustrated and say, you know what, I came here to drop off my pet, therefore I'm gonna have to go drive to Pomona, I'm just gonna leave them on the street, right? That's the last thing I would want, to see our pets on the streets. But if we can pay $125,000 extra to have a dedicated officer patrolling our city and being able to handle that pet to take them there versus one of our residents having to drive there and still have the cost savings that we're having, that we're talking about almost $2 million with the extra extent, not including any credits for revenue, any revenue credits that we would be receiving. In 3 years, we would be saving $1,975,750,000. I mean, that's a substantial amount of money for the city. The fact that I believe that we would get a better level of service. I mean, look, I would like to give the county an opportunity to present, see what it is that they're going to offer. I did receive a letter that was sent. My frustration has been, they know the cost over the last few years. Why are we addressing this just now? Why weren't these letters sent before, when they knew that we were having these issues, that we were having these talks, that we were exploring other services? Here yet now we receive it a couple of days before this council meeting. So that tells me that there could have been the ability to be able to address this with the county prior to the city council meeting. I don't know how the rest of my city council colleagues feel about maybe bringing this item back to give the county an opportunity to present so that we can make a better educated decision as to which best route to go. But I'm going to tell you right now, for me, I'm totally leaning towards eliminating the county only because of the cost savings and the level of service that I hope that we would be able to obtain. Now, we will hold you accountable if we do go with you, right? Because, we're going to fight for our pets, whether it's with you or whether it's the county. We're going to fight for the best services for our pets. But we also have to look at the cost savings. Everything's going up, but our revenues are not. So if we're able to save almost $2 million in 3 years, I'm all for that. I would recommend, and I want to hear from my council colleagues, that maybe we can bring this item back. Let's give the county an opportunity to present. It was a presentation. And then if we're able to go to the Inland Valley to take a tour, to see the facility, let's do that. But I would not want you to bring this back in February. I would like for you, the county, to bring this back for our first meeting in January, which would be January 21st, to present. That way it would give us the ability to be able to explore this either our first or second meeting of February.
Yeah.
Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then my motion will be to bring this back. We'll table this item. We were going to bring it back. We're going to give the county the ability to present to us. at our first meeting in January, which will be January 21st, 2026. And then city staff bring back this item to us to make a decision which route we're going to go with for our second meeting of February. That's where it gives them enough time to prepare everything. That would be my motion.
Yeah,
With the agreement, excuse me, with the agreement,
First.
Oh, you're right.
Mayor, with the agreement that we do get that July date, correct? Do you may put it in record?
Yeah,
Yeah.
contingent on the fact that we're getting an extension to not have to respond
Within
and
6
provide notice of termination until February 15th. And
That's correct.
and you're affirming. Okay, so we're relying on that. So that's
I'm on record.
yeah. Very
Mayor,
good.
Yes,
So that is my motion?
Mayor,
great.
Yes.
before you, sorry, I just want to clarify. I also want to, so, I've sent you were CC'd in my emails, right? And so,
Yeah.
the frustration with the county is, not a secret, right? So, but like I said, we have to also consider the portion of our residents and how they feel about the change. I mean, that's one of the most important and crucial things. But I also want to make sure that when this comes forward, we look at a full picture of what's going to be needing to be done. So yes, let's take a tour. Let's get to know the facilities. Let's, look at this, but also try to understand what's going to have to be augmented if we go with the shelter with Inland Valley, right? Because some of these services are not going to be no longer within reach, within walking distance, or 10, 15 minutes. So we want to make sure, what are we going to do to do that, right? I don't believe that it's going to be commonplace to do the bare minimum on this contract and everybody's going to be happy, because that's just not going to be the case. So yes, we can save, we have room to save, but we are going to have to augment some of these services. So we do all of our due diligence and then we get a full picture of what this looks like.
Yeah, so I think that, so our thing would be, I mean, from what I gathered on the presentation that Captain Hendricks presented, was the only augmentation that there is really is the fact that the distance of having to drive versus driving to the shelter here if you want to drop off a pet.
Right,
But maybe when they bring back, so the county can give the presentation, when staff brings back the report for the second meeting of February, maybe you can do a comparison
Mhm.
of the county versus the Inland Valley Humane Society and see what services they're providing, side by side cost. That way it gives us a better, and then also us in the meantime, do our own due diligence if we want to visit these shelters to go and look at that. So are you guys good with that?
Yes.
Yes, and that's a good idea, because we did get the full presentation of everything that we would be getting with this new contract, aside from saving money, but putting it side by side and have that information for our community, putting it on the website too, so they could see, so they're well informed, that by the time we have that information, they know exactly what we're talking about here at the meeting. They have the numbers, they have the services, and all the details that you will be providing. I think that's extremely important, because, when they hear, oh, the service is going to be out of Baldwin Park, they panic. And it's practically, it's perfectly normal. But let's put it side by side, exact detail, like I said, compare apple to oranges, and then that way it's clear to them and they have no questions or fears, please.
Thank you. Mayor, I made the motion, but prior to making the motion, Nicole, I just want to ask a question. Did the city of Azusa just approve a contract with your organization?
The city of Azusa on Monday night approved to terminate, notify the county of termination and negotiate a contract with us. Correct.
All right, thank you. I just wanted to share that
Yes.
with everyone. Obviously, yeah, the county is here, the convenience, as Councilmember Estrada said, and everyone's brought up some good points, but we definitely need to really look at this. I mean, I'm definitely in favor to go with the private sector. And it's an opportunity for us to be able to look at the savings and at the same time augment some of the service, as Mr. Estrada was saying as well, that I think could be remedied. I just want to say that. Lastly, just want to also, if we could include the county. I know when I dropped off pets there, you have to sign something that you're from Baldwin Park. I'm kind of curious that data. In other words, how many of our residents utilize the services with the county on an annual basis? If we could get that we could ask for that data, Captain. I'd appreciate that as part of for the counties.
And since you've been there, do they ask you for ID to prove you're from Baldwin Park?
Yeah, because I actually have signed up on little cards. So that's why I assume that that's how they keep track, because they ask the first thing, what city you from?
Mhm.
Okay, so.
That might be better served if during their presentation, they brought that data to you as well.
Thank
And
you,
one thing I
Captain.
want to remind council is we did do a comparison of services provided during this study session. So we did provide that to council. I'd also be remiss if I didn't say, there was a letter received by Councilmember Estrada that I'm not sure if the rest of the council got. And what it was is a response from the Department of Animal Control and Care to the special session meeting on the 3rd that was sent out on the 10th. I forwarded that to Shirley just now, so you guys could take a look at it. Because it did clarify something that was either misspoken by me or a clarification that they wanted to make. But two, they did talk about potential cost-saving measures. Unfortunately, those all were based on a reduction in services. So if we wanted to remove additional services, we could potentially save money. Or it led us to, hey, we'll work with grants, but grants aren't always a sure thing. So I think that letter that was just sent out on the 10th was a response from the Department of Animal Control and Care that I think it'd be worth council and the mayor pro tem to look at as well.
And our community, and that's why the community needs to see all the differences because
So
they're
that's
not,
forwarded to you
yeah,
guys.
because they're not informed. They see it on the agenda and they panic. They feel, oh, we're not going to get this, we're not going to get that. So if we inform them, let them know what's really on the agenda, not just the title, I think it would be very helpful for them as well.
Yeah, and in reference to that letter, it's more of an à la carte service that they're offering for cost savings. So it's something that we would really definitely have to analyze. I mean, right now, the cost savings, it's a no-brainer. But, you know, if there's something that, to me, my biggest concern is what type of inconveniences are going to be for the residents. That's basically my only concern at the moment. If it wasn't for that, I would have made a motion to approve this item tonight. But I think that just to be fair and to give our community residents a little bit more time to know what type of discussions we're having, and then also to be fair to the county, to give them the ability to propose or present. And then this way, you know, the community is very well aware of what we're dealing with and why we're going to make the decision that we're going to make. So again, I will reiterate, Councilmember Lozano.
Yes, so at this point, Mayor, I'll go ahead and make a motion.
Second,
Okay, we got a first and a second. City
Bring back.
Clerk, can we get roll call?
to bring back.
We have a motion to table item number 10 to January 21st and February 4th. Motion by Councilmember Lozano, second by Councilmember Avila. Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Chris. City Clerk, signs. And just to reiterate, that is for the county to propose or bring us a presentation for the January 21st meeting and staff to bring us the new proposal comparison for the second meeting of February. Thank you both for being here. Thank you, Captain Hendricks, for the
Thank
presentation.
you for your time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
All right, now moving on to item number 11. Approval of an internal transfer and repayment plan from the Measure BP Fund to partially fund a recent settlement. And Manny, who will be presenting?
I will go ahead and start it off and Rostam will go ahead and take over. This is pertaining to a internal transfer. We presented this item to the Stakeholders Oversight Committee and they approved it. And we wanted to be as transparent as possible. So we wanted to put this on reports of officers so the city council can review. And at this point, I will go ahead and turn it over to Rose Tam. We have a presentation if city council desires to view the presentation. If not, we will proceed.
Are we good with it? Can I make a motion?
Go ahead.
All right, thank you. Mayor, go ahead and make a motion for approval.
Before we make a motion, are there any comments or does anybody want to see the presentation?
I think you should show the presentation.
Show the presentation?
I think so.
Okay. Rose, do you want to briefly go through the presentation?
Yes,
Just briefly.
yes, promise.
Good.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem and members of City Council. And I'm going to present a summary of this internal transfer. Next slide, please. This slide shows the summary of the recent settlement that the city has. And as you may know here, The total settlement is $19 million, and the insurance portion is $9.75 million. The city's portion is $9.35 million, and the initial requirement is $6.35 million, and with 3 years annual installment. With $3 million means $1 million per year for the 3 years annual installment. Next slide, please. If we make the payment with the general fund reserve with the 3-year installment, the city will end up at least spending extra $259,000 in interest, and also it will bring the city's general fund reserve to 1.7 million. However, the city's general fund reserve required to have at least 10%, which is about, based on the current budget, and it will require us to have at least about 4.6 million. We have that in general fund reserve. Next slide, please. Staff recommended the city pay off the full 9.35 million in order for us to have the savings, and by upfronting from the general fund reserve, then following by the internal transfer of 6 million from the Measure BP fund to replenish the general fund reserve. This approach will is expected to save the city, as I mentioned earlier, about $259,000 in interest costs. More importantly, it helps ensure continued compliance with the city's reserve requirements and strengthen the emergency preparedness, and also will preserve the city's strong investment grade credit rating and ensure that the taxpayers' money are used effectively for the benefit of the community. The Measure BP Stakeholder Oversight Committee has reviewed the proposed and recommend forwarding this transfer and repayment plan to the City Council for review and approve. Next slide, please. And this slide present the saving and the payment plan that we paid the full 9.35 million upfront, and which will have the city general fund reserve back to 7.989 million by internal transfer from the Measure BP fund. Next slide, please. And this is the proposed payment plan to the Measure BP transfer. We estimate we are going to receive about 7.8 million each year from the Measure BP. And we are going to keep the 6 million in the Measure BP fund for the community program and the community need. With that 1.8 million above the 6 million, and we are going to use the $800,000 to repay the Measure BP fund, and the $1 million will be transferred to general fund for the general operations. That completed my presentation. I welcome any questions you may have.
Thank you for that, Rose. Does anyone have any questions or comments before making a motion? I you do, Councilmember Avila?
Yes,
Go ahead.
I just want to say, thank you, Rose, for preparing. I just thought it was important that you show the numbers and explain the reason why we had to do that. Our Measure BP money, was put into place for events and for city, community events that we have. However, we are making more than the amount that we expected at one point, and that's where we're using this money. And we're not taking this money, we're borrowing the money and paying it back on a yearly basis. As you saw, it's an emergency and it's not something that we chose to do. It's not something that anybody up here had to do with, but it's something that we have to deal with. And as council, I feel that we're all on the same page, that we need to protect our city, we need to protect our residents, because the amount of money we keep in our general fund has a lot to do with the way our city is rated. And if we have funds already there gaining interest, then we should use it to make sure that our city is safeguarded. We're not taking that money, we're borrowing the money. And I think it's important that the community understands it's going to be paid back so that it can be used for community events. And we're not cutting any community events by borrowing this amount of money. We still have the money to do the community events that we have in place already. So I just wanted to, and I hope that the community understands what's going on with this money. And it was important, and it was something that we truly had to do here as a council. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Councilmember Avila. I did want to make some comments regarding this. I was present at the Measure BP stake, the SOC committee meeting, and I know that there was some pushback in reference to, these $6 million. And look, when we were pushing this ballot measure out there, I was present at every single one of those community meetings. And, obviously this was not what this money was intended for. But, like I explained to the SOC committee members, our number one priority is the city and the financial well-being of the city. If we don't have the revenue to operate, then what's the point of having 17, 18, $20 million sitting in a Measure BP fund when the city's going bankrupt? It makes no financial sense. Did we wish that we would use this money? Of course not. But this $19.1 million lawsuit came to us out of nowhere. This was something that happened back in 1989 that no one that is currently here was even responsible for. And obviously we have to pay for it somehow. So we cannot deteriorate our reserves down to zero. We need to have at least a minimum 10% there. We cannot lose our good credit rating. We have an A minus, I believe, right, Rose? Credit rating?
Yes, we have a very strong rating.
Yeah, and
A minus.
yeah, and I mean,
A
want to get it to A plus, right? But we cannot afford to lose our credit rating because we don't know when in the future we need to apply for a bond that will minimize the chances of us obtaining one. So do we want to use the money for that? Obviously not, but we have no other choice. This is something that we have to deal with now. The Measure BP fund has over $17 million sitting in it now. In about a year, it's going to go up to almost 25 million. I would estimate about $24.5 million. So that's a fund that keeps replenishing year after year, which our commitment is, to use towards improvements for the community, such as public safety. But at this point in time, I believe that I can speak for my entire city council while in agreement with this, is we have no other choice. This is something that we have to pay. And, we're not just taking it from Measure BP, we're actually going to repay it back. So if no one else has any comments or questions, I will make a motion to approve item number 11.
I second.
I got a first and a second. City Clerk, can we get roll call?
We have a motion to adopt item number 11, motion made by Mayor Damian, second by Councilmember Avila. Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. And then moving on, this was the item that was brought in, walked in at the beginning of the council meeting, 11.A. This is the approval of contract with Tyler Technologies to update the city's permitting system. Who will be presenting, Manny?
Okina, our Community Development Director, will provide a brief presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. CEO, Mayor, and the rest of the council. This is an urgent item that comes before the city, as every effort that staff strive to achieve is to save the city money. We turn over every rock, look at every opportunity possible to save money, to expedite the process, as well as to run our city as most efficient as possible. With that in mind, Tyler Technology is a current service provider to our city. They provide financial services in terms of software, building permitting and inspections, permit issuance, public works, logging and tracking, and many more service to the different departments. As part of this, our permitting system is based on a per square foot calculation. And it's kind of antiquated and it's a little bit obsolete. Back on November 5th, 2025, the City Council approved a user fee study. As part of that, to approve a fee study to increase our fee to be comparable with our surrounding cities. And the City Council approved that. This is the next step before the council. City staff have been diligently communicating with the consultant, Tyler Technology, to negotiate a price and a quote in order to perform the professional service. And that professional service requires a lot of technical data building, calculation, and data inputting. As part of that service, we're changing the system of a per square foot permit issuance. That includes building and safety, building permit itself, plan check services, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, miscellaneous permit, and many more. And that is quite an undertaking. That's why the value is a little bit more. We wish that the number would be a lot less within the threshold of the approval of the CEO, but unfortunately, it went a little bit over. And with that in mind, we also included a 10% contingency to the total amount. They quoted the city at $60,750 as part of the multiple communication and negotiation. With 10% contingency, it's an additional $6,075. We hope that we would be within the threshold of what is quoted. But as a safety net, beginning of the new year, we want to pad that with the contingency amount. So with regards to this is a one-time, one-fee professional service provided by Tyler Technology in order to perform and change over the permitting and fee structure system within our building and safety division. With this in mind, the purpose of the fee study, it would probably generate and increase our fee approximately 3 times what we're generating now. And the faster we do this, the faster we get our updated fees implemented, getting more resource in addition to money savings as well. With that said, staff is recommending that the City Council authorize the mayor to execute the agreement, and the agreement is attached into the as part of the staff report. Very simple quote and service. Also, this is a one-time professional service charge to the city, and authorize the Director of Finance to make the appropriation from the general fund and necessary budget adjustment to pay for the service. And we will definitely be receiving quite a bit of reserve return the faster we do this. If you have any additional question, I'll be here to answer any other question you may have.
Thank you for that presentation, Okina. Do any of my council colleagues have any questions or comments before making a motion?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Thank you. We got a first and a second. City Clerk, can we get roll call, please?
We have a motion to adopt item 11A, moved by Councilmember Lozano, seconded by Councilmember Avila. Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that. City Clerk. All right, we're getting close to the end of our agenda. We are at item number 12. The successor agency to the dissolved Community Development Commission of the City of Baldwin Park warrants and demands. There are items S1 and S2, 12 and 13. Do I have a motion to pass both these items simultaneously?
I'll make a motion.
A second.
Got a first and a second. Can we get roll call, please?
We have a motion to adopt items 12 and 13, moved by Councilmember Lozano, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ayala. Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. Then we've got now down to the Finance Authority, item 14, Treasurer's Report. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
We got motion by Councilmember Avila, second by Mayor Pro Tem Ayala. Can we get roll call, please?
We have a motion to adopt item number 14, moved by Councilmember Avila, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ayala. Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. All right, moving down to the Housing Authority, we've got items 15 and 16. I will ask if, actually, I am going to abstain from this item. My commercial landlord is on the check register, so I'm going to abstain. Do we have a motion to approve simultaneously?
Go ahead and move for motion.
A second.
And it's just abstaining from 15, correct?
That is correct, yes. So okay, so let's do one at a time. So this is for item 15. We got a first by Councilmember Lozano and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Ayala. City Clerk?
We have a motion to adopt item number 15, moved by Councilmember Lozano, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ayala. Councilmember Avila, Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Abstain.
Motion carries 4-0-1.
Thank you for that. Now we're moving on to item 16, the Treasurer's Report, HA October 2025. Can we get a motion?
A motion.
A second.
We got a first and a second. Can we get roll call?
We have a motion to adopt item number 16, moved by Councilmember Lozano, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ayala. Councilmember Avila,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ayala,
Yes.
Mayor Damian.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that, City Clerk. All right, we're at the end of the agenda. We're down to City Council, City Clerk, City Treasurer, staff requests, and communications. I don't see any, but I will start from my right to my left for any council comments, starting with Mayor Pro Tem Ayala.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to take a brief moment to thank everybody for staying the duration of the meeting. We always appreciate those people who stay and support us. I just want to take a moment to wish my council colleagues, all of our staff, our E-team, and everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy 2026. And thank you. And I look forward to coming back after a couple of weeks refreshed and ready to do what we need to do. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you for that, Mayor Pro Tem. Councilmember Lozano?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the participants, council members, worked together good. Looking forward. I'll see everyone next year.
Thank you for that, Councilmember Lozano. Councilmember Estrada.
Thank you, Mayor. I just Sam, I want to reiterate wishing everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. thanking our staff for another, successful year, enduring another year. We have so many things to take care of, but we're getting there. And, it's all because of you guys and the work that you do and the work that your team does. And of course, I know that, you had your luncheon today. I didn't make it, but I want to make sure that we, just show my gratitude to all of our staff, because I know that it is a lot of work. I know that we sometimes ask a lot of you. And it's just, our jobs are more than just jobs, right? We're taking care of a community, of city, of residents, and just making sure that they have access to all their resources. So of course, thank you to all of you. So Merry Christmas to everybody. And to Mayor Danny, you have a couple of weeks to prepare, and then next year you're gonna hit the ground running.
I think I just started. No, just kidding.
You did good.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Councilmember Estrada. Councilmember Avila.
Thank you. I also want to thank our staff, because without our staff, the city wouldn't run. As I said it before, and I'll say it again, we come up with the ideas and you guys just take off with them. You guys do everything in your power to make it even better of whatever the vision we came up with. And without you, without every single department working together, because that's what it takes. Working together, sometimes we may not agree, but we work it out and we figure it out. And that is what's so amazing about this group in this city, that you love what you do. You love the community that you work for, and it shows. So thank you for doing everything possible. We made it throughout this year. I'm wishing a better year for next year. I thank you for staying together and united to making sure that we got through this year, because we supported each other. Thank you. May God bless you. Wishing you a happy new year. See you next year.
Thank you, Councilmember Avila. City Treasurer, City Clerk, do you guys have any Christmas comments for us?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just on behalf of myself and my family, wishing every single one of you and staff and our entire community a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a happy 2026, and look forward to a very, very productive and successful 2026.
Thank you, City Clerk. City Treasurer?
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Again, just want to reiterate everything that my colleagues here have been mentioning. First off, congratulations, Mayor, on the appointment, and thank you, Councilmember Avila, now for all the work you did this past year. I know it was a tough year, but please know that you did a really great job in representing our community and our city throughout all the difficult times that we did have throughout the year. So thank you. And last but not least, thank you again to all of our staff from our police department and Public Works and Parks and Recs and everybody. They've done an amazing job throughout the year. And like you guys have all mentioned, we come up with the ideas and they execute everything, and they do a great job time and time again. So again, thank you to everybody for all the hard work they've done throughout the years, and happy holidays to everybody. And let's kick butt in the new year. Thank you.
Thank you for that, City Treasurer. All right, so I do have a couple of announcements. Well, first of all, I want to thank staff. Councilmember Avila, Mayor at the time, requested for our chambers to be decorated. I don't think anybody imagined the amount of decorations we were going to have here, but I'm going to tell you that we were all pleasantly surprised. So staff, whoever it is that did this, I don't know if it was Recreation and Community Services, which I'm almost sure it was, but to staff who put this together, I want to say thank you, because it's an amazing job. And I think next year we'll start doing this right after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
To work off that turkey, we'll start decorating the chambers so that we can enjoy it for the whole month of December. So,
And just sorry to interrupt you,
Okay.
just exactly what I mean. We give them the idea and they run with it. You see, I didn't expect all of this, and I was like, whoa, this is beautiful.
it was
So-
probably just expecting a couple little lights, but this was, honestly, I've never seen the council chambers decorated for Christmas.
Well,
So this was.
you
this-
will never
this-
see it not decorated again.
Yes, so this is good. So we're moving forward in the Christmas spirit. Our residents has been asking for decorations, so now we just have to keep moving forward to decorate the outside of the city a little bit more. But staff, thank you very much for that. I also want to announce that our Baldwin Park Police Department, along with the Baldwin Park Police Officers Association, will be having their annual Toys with the Cops tomorrow. And Chief, correct me if I'm wrong, it starts at 5 p.m. At 5 p.m. here at Arts and Recreation Center. So try to come out and support our the great job that our Baldwin Park Police Department does with that year after year. And then the following day, Friday, December 19th, we're going to have our annual Posada, which will start with Mass at 6:30 p.m. at St. John the Baptist Catholic Church. They will then have a procession walking towards Morgan Park to start the festivities and the celebration there at Morgan Park Friday night at 8 p.m. If you do not attend or are not part of the Mass, you can just meet us at Morgan Park at 8 p.m. We look forward to celebrating with each and every one of you. Bring the kids out. They will have an amazing time. And then I also just want to say thank you to everyone, our amazing staff. You know, you guys, we cannot do what we do if it wasn't for you guys. You know, like Councilmember Avila said, we come up with the ideas, you guys run with it, you guys make things happen. So I just want to say, you know, how proud we are to have staff that really cares about their job and really cares about the community. And that's hard to come by nowadays. And I think that each and every one of you guys are dedicated. So please thank everyone in your departments and every department across the board for the amazing work that you guys do. I want to wish all of our residents, all of our staff, my council colleagues, city attorney, Manny, and everyone here, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Many blessings come our way. I have a feeling 2026 is going to be our year. We're going to do a lot of good stuff here in the city of Baldwin Park because that's what we're committed to. So I just want to say thank you all. You know, it was a pleasure to serve as your mayor for the first meeting. And hopefully with the collaboration of my council colleagues, we will continue moving our city forward for the year 2026. But again, just want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless each and every one of us.
Let's hear for Mayor Damian. Yeah, you did a great job.
Thank you. I learned from the best. I learned from the best. So, Councilmember Avila, I learned from the best. If I don't say that, I know what's gonna happen. You're gonna come and club me over the head. But with that, I will make a motion to adjourn. We are now adjourned. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much.
Right.